Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today we're going to take a look at some $1 coins from the country of Canada. And I want to focus on this one over here, the 1972 Canada dollar. And we'll look at these ones also. But first, I guess you all know what's in the background. And that is the Canadian $1 bill. And this is a 1973 $1 bill from Canada. And you'll see that at the top it says Bank of Canada on this side, and on this side it says Banque du Canada. This is the French, this is the English, and there's Queen Elizabeth over here, just looking very young. All right, let's get back to this coin here. If I can get my camera set up, is the 1972 dollar coin from Canada, and it is a beauty. If we look here, we see a First Nation Canadian here up in the front. We see a voyageur or a trapper here. Way back in here, we see a E and an H, and that's for Emmanuel Otto Hahn, who engraved this coin. We see some trees up here. It looks like they may be blowing in the breeze, like a stiff wind blowing this way with the canoers. And then way down in here, we see something really kind of cool. And that is, we see, and it's hard to tell exactly what it is until you get it just right, but it's an HB. And of course it was the Hudson Bay Company that originally did the trapping explorers, I guess you'd call them, to work with the First Nations Canadians to send beaver pelts and whatever back to England and Europe. It says Canada at the top here. It is a geared outer rim. These are not bead. First Nations mark here. 1972 it says here, and then at the dollar, at the bottom it says dollar. And I'm just going to learn how to talk. This is a big, heavy coin. This coin, Canada actually had silver $1 coins with the same back on it from 1953 to 1963 with Queen Elizabeth on them. And then this particular coin here is a 1972. This variety was made from 68 to 76. It weighs 15.62 grams, so it's not as heavy as a silver coin was. A silver coin weighed 23.32 grams. That silver coin in bullion value alone today is worth $15 or $16. So if you ever get one of the older Canadian coins, and they are heavy, they're 80% silver, and they are just as beautiful. And of course they have the Mary Gillick portrait on the those ones. Who's on this one? Well, it's Queen Elizabeth still. It says Elizabeth II here. It says DG Regina, or by the grace of God, Queen. And then when we get down here, we see that she's wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara with the 2 points here. Just a magnificent coin, and you can see this is from the bullion uncirculated set that they put out every year. And in 1972, 405,865 of this type of coin. It's not a rare coin, but it's still worth $6 or $7. And they put out 2.676 million of the general circulation coins, which uncirculated are now worth $2.40. So this is a $6 or $7 coin. It's not quite as valuable as the silver coin, but it's still a beauty. And of course it has a, when we look at the rim, we see it has a reeded rim. Said there were some other coins we were going to look at. This is one that followed that coin, and that is the Loony. And so we see the loon on the lake, the same kind of trees on an island in the background, Canada at the top, dollar at the bottom, 1988. And when we look at the Loony, we see that the Loony has some edges on it. So these Canadian $1 coins, the so-called Loonies, are a bronze-plated nickel, and they're hendecagonal, or 11-sided. So that's kind of strange too, right? So if we look up here on the sides, we see that there are 11 kind of smooth sides as you go around. This is a beaded outer rim, as is the front of the 1972 dollar, a beaded outer rim, not a geared rim. And then if we tip it up on, well, we tip it up on this side, we see that it is still the same portrait, but just the way that the Queen comes out in this nickel. And this is pure nickel here. The way the Queen comes out in this nickel is just really sweet. Just the way her face comes through, and it's a little kind of different buffing here. So same portrait, a different coin. This is a 72, this is an 88. And then I showed you one other coin at the beginning, and that is before 1972 they went through the Canadian provinces, and this is the British Columbia province, 100th anniversary, Canada dollar, Thomas Shingles, and the seal here. And when we flip it over, we see that it is the same. So this coin was part of the series, the British Columbia, in the series that came before 1971. All right, so that's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Just a lovely coin, Queen Elizabeth II. That's all we have, and we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.